So I found out that all of the Harry Potter movies were on Amazon Prime. I think they're still on Amazon Prime. And let me just say, I decided to watch them one afternoon or 8 afternoons, and I'm gonna piss off a lot of Harry Potter stans. I wasn't crazy about them. I heard that the books were much better, but I don't have the attention span to read books, so I'm sorry. But this is just me going off of the movies alone, so I'm sorry, please don't hate me. That being said, I rated all of the Harry Potter films, and again, this is probably going to be really unpopular opinions because I am not included in the Harry Potter fandom whatsoever, so I don't know what is necessarily popular, like what movies people like versus other movies, so I'm just going to be rating them based on my own personal beliefs. So without no further ado, let's get to ranking. So in last place we have Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince. So as you know, this is the sixth movie in the franchise, and basically it's about the Death Eaters who wreak havoc in both Muggle and Wizard worlds. Hogwarts is no longer a safe haven for students, though Harry suspects there is a new danger lurking within the castle walls. Dumbledore is most intent than ever on preparing the young wizard for their final battle with Voldemort. Meanwhile, teenage hormones run rampant through Hogwarts, presenting a different sort of danger. Love may be in the air, but tragedy looms, and Hogwarts may never be the same again. If you couldn't tell by just that summary, I did not come up with that. That was the summary on Google. I'll just start off by saying that this movie was pretty weirdly made. I'll just say that. Like, half of the movie wasn't even about anything really important. As the summary said, it's really just about the kids being really horny. But it was mostly about the relationship and the family drama, which I think is a good break from all the drama that goes on in these movies. And this is by far the funniest film of the franchise, I will give it that. Of course, these movies aren't comedies, so, just a fun little thing I just throw in there. But I also find it interesting because the movie definitely showed a coming of age style movie, showing the kids kind of turn into young adults. But the second half all of a sudden took a very dark turn with Dumbledore, Draco, and Snape, of course. It left me wondering, what the hell is happening? It's not necessarily bad, it was just all over the place. I'll just give it that. So in 7th place is very fitting. It's the 7th movie of the franchise, The Deathly Hallows Part 1. So, of course, it's about Harry, Ron, and Hermione who begin a mission to destroy Horcrux, the source of Voldemort's immortality, as the Dark Force threatens to tear them apart. Voldemort's Death Eaters have seized control of the Ministry of Magic and Hogwarts, and they are searching for Harry, even as he and his friends prepare for the ultimate showdown. Honestly, I love that.
Why do you live? Because I have something worth living for.
Ultimate showdown, which is very a fun cliffhanger for this movie. But I don't know why. I always thought that Harry Potter looked nothing like Daniel Radcliffe, if that makes sense, until the last 2 movies. Then he finally looked like Daniel, and I don't know if that makes any sense. Not sure the ultimate throwdown didn't really happen to the second part, so this movie was kind of dull. I feel like that's a theme with a lot of these movies. Some movies have way too much happening, and some movies hardly had any action whatsoever. This movie mainly just included Harry, Ron, and Hermione, but Ron gets angry halfway through the movie and he leaves for a while.
Oh, you don't know how it feels! Your parents are dead! You have no family!
So it just leaves Harry and Hermione. They also have this dance scene it's kind of cute. Harry's elf also dies, so that's sad. That's all I have to say. I'm indifferent to this one. Next one we have is the very first movie that started it all, Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. So this is, of course, where it all begins. Of course, it's about a boy named Harry Potter who learns on his 11th birthday that he is the orphan son of 2 most powerful wizards.
You're a wizard, Harry.
And possesses unique magical powers of his own. He is summoned from his life as an unwanted child to become a student at Hogwarts, an English boarding school for wizards. There he meets several friends who become his closest allies and help him discover the truth about his parents' mysterious deaths. It starts off pretty weird seeing his insane family, and it starts so quickly. Already by the second scene, he's talking to snakes and getting letters sent by magic owls. We meet Hagrid, and he tells Harry that he's a wizard, and I like how Harry just wasn't even phased. He was like, "Yep, that makes sense." And that's why I have this scar, right? And I could talk to snakes, and the magic letters. Yeah, makes sense. Anyway, we meet Ron and Hermione, of course.
I'm Hermione Granger. And you are?
Ron Weasley.
Pleasure.
They had to, of course, make Hermione the most stereotypical know-it-all, smarty, goody two-shoes girl, and made Ron the classic ginger nerd. Surprised they didn't give him any classes, but nope, can't steal the light away from Harry Potter. We also don't see Voldemort yet. He's only the back of the head. Anyway, so for number 5, we have the second film, Chamber of Secrets. So of course, this is the second installment of the franchise, and it's about a mysterious elf who tells Harry to expect trouble during his second year of Hogwarts, but nothing can prepare him for trees that fight back, flying cars, spiders that talk.
Wait, spiders? Why couldn't it be follow the butterflies?
And deadly warnings written in blood on the walls of the school. So I feel like this is the most iconic movie in the franchise. I hate that I just said that, but especially with the flying car. This movie screams main character energy, mainly because Harry is talked about right and left and accused for everything just because his name is in the title, not for any reason. Especially the scene where he breaks his arm and the whole school is coddling him, but Draco was over there just with his body broken and no one cared, not even the nurse. What? That scene where Ron and Harry get chased by giant spiders actually won't leave my brain, and I haven't been the same since. So the dragon fight scene at the end was terrifying but pretty good. He tried to scare us to think that he was going to die, but of course he didn't, because this is only the second film, or else they'll have to name the movie, Hermione Granger and the Prisoner of Azkaban. Overall, iconic, but not my favorite. So, next up we have Deathly Hallows Part 2. Yikes.
Harry Potter. The boy who lived. Come to die.
So, as we all know, this is the final installment of the franchise. It's with Harry, Ron, and Hermione prepare for the final battle against Voldemort. Harry is on a mission to rid the world of evil. His friends must search for the Horcrux that keeps the disastrously wizard immortal. I can't speak. Harry and Voldemort meet at Hogwarts Castle for an epic showdown where the forces of darkness may finally meet their match. So, of course, this is better than the first part because it all concludes and we all get some action. It had a good amount of action and suspense. My all-time favorite scene in this franchise is the Harry Potter is dead scene.
Harry Potter is dead! No! No! Silence!
I found it more dramatic than I thought it would be, to be honest. The fact Harry was actually so close to dying, the part where Harry just wakes up altered my brain chemistry. I also love how they kind of redeemed Snape's character after finding out that he's the half-blood prince. So I thought that was again, he's a morally great character pretty much, so I like that they kind of made him more, made people like him more, I guess. I also enjoyed the time jump. Harry's out here looking like a snack. I heard that the actor who played Harry's and Ginny's kid played Harry as a baby in the flashback in the first film. That's neat. So in third place we have Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. Anyway. So this is the third film of the franchise. It's about the third year of Hogwarts, of course, that starts off badly when Harry learns that a deranged killer, Sirius Black, has escaped from Azkaban prison and is bent on murdering Harry.
But I go looking for someone who wants to kill me.
While Hermione's cat torments Ron's sickly rat, causing a rift among the trio. A swarm of nasty Dementors is sent back to protect the school from Sirius Black. A mysterious new teacher helps Harry learn to defend himself, and he learns a secret tied to Sirius Black. Now listen, this one was hard to place because this is probably the most popular film in the series from what I've heard, but I had no real opinion on it, if I'm being completely honest. I more so found it I just found it really confusing. Literally so much happened in this. Like, literally so much happened in this. Like, it was just almost too overwhelming. Like, it was crazy. Like, by the time the movie was halfway over, I felt like it was already close to being done because of how much already happened, which isn't quite a good thing to think about during a movie, but it was definitely not boring. And, you know, it was definitely dramatic because of, you know, how much happened, and you really had to pay really close attention while watching this film. But much love to Sirius Black, you know? He's cool. So, in second place, by this point you probably already know what number 1 is, but anyway, by second place we have the 5th one of the franchise, Harry Potter and the Order of Phoenix. So, of course, this is the 5th film of the franchise, and of course it's about when Harry learns that many of the wizarding community do not know the truth of his encounter with Lord Voldemort in the previous movie. So Cornelius Fudge, Minister of Magic, appoints his toady, Dolores Umbridge, as defense against the dark arts teacher, for he fears that Professor Dumbledore will take his job. But her teaching is definite and her methods are pretty cruel, so Harry prepares a group of students to defend the school against a rising tide of evil. So I also think this is a great concept for a movie. I usually hate the repetitiveness of the films where it's like they have a sketchy teacher, but this teacher was very cruel and pretty well written, I will give him that. Yeah, so she was sketchy from the beginning. The way she looked so perfect and the kind of, you know, like she looked kind of kind on the outside but cruel-hearted. I also like the secondary storyline where Harry believes he's being possessed by Voldemort. My favorite scene in this movie is where he wakes up in the middle of the night after he sees a vision of Ron's father dying, and he snaps at Dumbledore and his lack of eye contact. That scene was very well executed.
Oh, thank you. Next thing is...
Look at me!
What's happening to me?
I also enjoy the line, "I shall not tell lies."
I want you to write, "I must not tell lies." Do something! Tell them I mean no harm!
I'm sorry, Professor. I must not tell lies.
Alright guys, if you couldn't tell by now, my number 1 favorite movie is The Goblet of Fire. So this is the 4th one in the franchise, and it's about the upcoming tournament between 3 major schools of magic, with 1 participant selecting from each school by the Goblet of Fire. When Harry's name is drawn, even though he is not eligible and is a 4th player, he must compete in the dangerous contest. So I found this concept very interesting. It gave me one of those like open feelings, if you know what I mean. I feel like it was filled with the right amount of suspense and drama, not so much to the point where you get confused about what's happening. I also liked Robert Pattinson in this movie, and I think his character death scene was probably one of the best scenes in the franchise. It was very dramatic and great acting. I also like what they did with his character, because I like how I also thought he was going to turn out to be the evil guy, but I like how that never ended up happening, so I kind of enjoyed what they did for that. They definitely tricked me, I would give them that. But I also enjoyed what they did with Hermione's character in this film. I like how she kind of broke out of her character a little bit more, and, you know, I thought this was the best. I found Ron and Harry's feud to be pretty not the best written, but I enjoyed how we got to see Ron's point of view with being Harry Potter's friend, and how it could be, you know, disheartening. But I also enjoyed how this was pretty, you know, it ended up being well written, and the concept was actually very cool. So again, those are my ratings of the Harry Potter movies, and again, this is me just being completely unbiased, just based on the movies alone, not based on the books or anything like that, because I haven't read those. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Leave me your comments down below if you guys agree with me, disagree with me, you know, because again, I'm not gonna get offended, because I'm not like a Harry Potter fan that much. So, you know, I mean, obviously don't be like, you know, don't make me cry or anything, but like, you know what I mean. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video.